Peace, peace. You already know who it is. Part 3. Yeah, we got cut off before we even got into any science. That's just how powerful the currency is right now. Before I even got into anything, I literally just talked about all the surface and I got cut off, so we already know where we're going from here. We put on some tunes and we'll get started. For those who have been paying attention, I've been making 2020 videos since maybe about 2018. I've been making videos with 2020 in the title for some time before any of these events occurred. Excuse me. I'm going to explain why. In just a second. Let me put on some tunes. Okay, here we go. Now, the reason 2020 has been this reoccurring energy for quite some time, in the sense of 2020 was made to represent clarity, to represent clear vision. Again, for those who have been watching for quite some time, I said this would be the year of being able to utilize your psychic abilities. They will come online. That's exactly what we have been witnessing on the ground level, in terms of all people coming together all around the world, in the sense of to fight against justice, unjust activity, not justice, to seek justice for unjust activity. Let me say it correctly. So we see these events happening all around the world, and they have their own causes, their own cases, their own misfortunes that they rally behind. So this is what's occurring on the ground level. We have never seen this amount of people come together for one common cause. This has never occurred before. That is because the psychic abilities are online, and that's how it manifests for the public. So the public has been able to merge together for a common cause because they want change collectively. As we know, the power is in the people. We've always known that, but now we are demonstrating that. But not just on the positive side, also on the negative side. So we see the people who want peace and the people who want war happening at the same time, which both energies needed to happen simultaneously in order to get things moving the way they are moving now, to where it just dominates the airways, it just dominates the news. They couldn't even prop up their propaganda as they usually do, because this just gained so much steam it could not be hidden. They did their best to sweep it under the rug, and it just wasn't happening. The people found their power in the collective. So on a collective level, we see people merging together, finding their power, and we're going to see more and more people take positions of power. Again, all this is what's going on the surface level. Anybody can turn on the news and see these events occurring in real time. But what about for the select few, for those who have trained themselves accordingly so that when all this pops off, they see a different picture because they have been putting in the work? Again, if you know anything, I'm always telling you, put the work in. That's the only way you're going to be able to activate your psychic senses. Because if you did not put the work in, you will be with everyone else, which there's nothing wrong with that. But we know there are more levels, there are more pieces, there are more components to this equation than just what we see on the ground level. What about what's going on in the stars? Who's talking about that? Who's talking about how the stars are assisting the people because of the energy that they are emanating currently, as we spoke about in part 3, the 6-planet retrograde? This could not have occurred in any other time, because if it was any other time, this would have went a lot differently. It would have went like all the other cases went. The only reason this went differently is because of the planetary influence that we are experiencing right now. So currently we are in a 5-planet retrograde. However, as spoken about earlier, let me put on some more music. We have another planet that still is yet to be activated. So we think things are turned up now. There are still more components. And again, those who are trained, those who are studied can see into the future because we have trained ourselves to know the symbols. Do you recognize the symbolism that plays a part? Every time you turn on the news, see, most people watch the news for the information. You should watch the news for the symbolism. The symbolism tells the true story. It is never about the words. It is always about the symbolism. What symbolism is being displayed in these videos, in these news articles? What symbolism when the president holds up that Bible? What does that really mean? There's more pieces to the puzzle, but it's not being spoke about. But the symbolism is right there in your face for those who are trained to activate and see, okay, this is what's really going on, and this will never be spoken about, but it will be placed right in your face for those in the know to decode and decipher so that you know exactly what will occur before it happens. Not when it happens, before it happens. Again, this is why I've been speaking about 2020 way before any of this has occurred. So there was no coincidence. Like, I wasn't talking about 2019, wasn't talking about 2017. I created this channel in 2013. A year after the whole 2012 thing popped off. So 1 year after that, I created this channel. I could have been talking about any other year, 2050, 2030. I was specifically targeting 2020 for this very reason, because once you are able to see into the future, you know exactly, oh, this is actually a grand scale event that's occurring in these years according to the mathematics of the stars. So according to the mathematics of the stars, something big is going to happen. So let me actually start to direct my focus into that light, because I see it is a very great light, a very great emanation occurring at this particular time in history. So this is why I targeted the 2020 frequency years before it occurred. And I said, if you train yourself accordingly, you will be able to see way more dimensions than you were able to see before any of this occurred, because this is a new currency that we are in right now. The energy is different. The atmosphere is different. The stars are distilling a special type of energy right now. All carbon comes from stardust that descends to the earth. So we receive these star communications from the stardust that turns into carbon, which is the basis of all reality. Because carbon is the basis of all reality, the 666 frequency, the 666 frequency of carbon, which are the emanations of stardust. And we know stardust, although the star is dead technically, the dust still has remnants of the original source. The same way we say, we know that we are not the supreme God, but we are emanations of that supreme God. We are tentacles or extension of this oversoul. So we are no different. We are extensions of it. Which is why we say we are co-creators, because we are extensions of the Creator. We are not creations of the Creator. We are extensions of the Creator. That's the difference. When you are an extension of the Creator versus what the Creator created, that puts things into proper perspective. Because if you are a creation does not have life. You can create something right now. You can use clay, mud, you can use wood, you can use any material of the earth and create something, design it, shape it, mold it. Anyone can do that at any time. But is that a human being? Is that something that was created from a higher source? Absolutely not.